Man, let me just go on to what I was about to say. So with all this going on, man, you have done all this. You have got the community a carrot ready, should I call it. You have associated yourself with creating a church with a 501(c). You have created a team.
Yeah.
When you and your business partner have put together a team to not only run the church, but to also help others when they get out of the bank, get out of the joint, get a job, get together with their mentality, which is the biggest thing for me. I feel like without the mind, the body will ain't gonna go nowhere.
Right.
So out of all of this building block, all the building blocks that you have done with your team, I got to give the team the credit. With the team, what it was the most challenging?
The most challenging thing in this, there wasn't any real big challenges other than like,
Oh yeah, you just the goat then, man.
but I mean,
no challenge.
There were some, but nothing that we couldn't handle. I'm born for confrontation. So coming,
I like that.
When there's conflict, the people who have courage, those are the ones who arise in the midst of conflict. We understand that we were born for such a time as this. Right. One of the most challenging things is the perception that people hold on to about formerly incarcerated people coming out of the streets, or people they have already deemed as being different than them. We've done a number of projects, and I think some of the challenge that we've always come up against has always been the false narrative that other people have believed about us. And when I say us as a people, formerly incarcerated people.
So you're talking about felons and
yeah.
Okay.
So that's been the biggest challenge. And then on top of that, where you hear of guys that you've known from the streets who would talk negative about you.
Because of you. So you're saying you would hear the negative part coming from the people that you used to walk with and run with on the block.
Yeah, not necessarily guys I used to jam with, just cats who knew me from the streets.
Because of what you was doing, because of the positive outlook that you was portraying for the community.
People who are miserable. Think about this. Here it is. I go. Some of these guys never end up going to the joint, or they just went into 2-3 year deal. See, I usually don't share this kind of stuff on podcasts, but since this is people from the streets will be hearing it, we can dig into it a little bit.
Oh yeah, do your thing, Nate. Do your thing.
So here it is. I go do a bid in 10 plus years.
Right.
You got guys who stayed out here, and then I come home, go in at 19, come home at 32, and and then doing what I'm doing now. And you got these same individuals who have been out here this whole time, and they're still in the same condition they were 20, 25 years ago.
So the hustle, they hustle hasn't grown, the pocket's still flat, y'all still feeding off the same miserable people.
People ain't grown, and you're going nowhere fast, making a bunch of motion without progress. So the only thing that you can do is get jealous and hate.
But
it makes
like you said, you need them haters though.
Yeah, you do. You can use it as a motivation.
Yeah.
But it's the very people that you think that should sell it. See, the sad thing is a lot of us, we as a whole, we haven't developed a culture of honor yet. Where we can honor one another, we can celebrate other people's victories and champion their efforts, champion the things that they're doing, because it's a benefit and blessing to everyone. But when it does, see, a lot of times when individuals talk negative about other people, the majority of the time it's because they see in others what they actually see in themselves.
I agree with that. I
Okay.
experienced that all my life.
So people will actually call out and accuse you of things that they actually see on the inside of it. You know what I mean?
Right. And how did that affect you? You feel me? When you got
It's
on the
like,
street.
yeah, it's like you think that you would celebrate someone someone who made it out and is killing it, and not just killing it, but coming back and helping all the guys that we grew up with get back on their feet and help. You think everyone would celebrate it, but that ain't
Right.
the case. You know what I mean? You're like,
Yeah,
dang,
unfortunately, yeah.
my
Because you're right,
God.
because we live in a society where it's a crab in a barrel. You feel me? Especially if you reach the top and
Yeah,
they see you reach the top of that barrel,
yeah.
you know, they reaching for you. They grabbing your shoestrings, your pants leg, and they finna
Whatever.
yank you right down, man. And
Come here.
that, but in the I want to say in the type of, how can I put it, platform that you have created, it's an open door policy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why would you want to still stay in the same mindset when you have not, like you said previously, have not gone anywhere,
Yeah,
have not accomplished anything?
yeah,
You're actually doing more harm to the people around you and majority to yourself than you benefiting from.
yeah.
And so it's like, even though you have Fresh Coast Alliance, even though you have all these great programs and accolades that are going, how do block those who are trying to still bring you down? You know what I'm saying? Without showing the old school Nate.
Yeah. Well, it's it. And when I say challenging things, it kind of gives you one of them looks like they're like, why would you do that, right?
Right.
But as far as like being around them, I'm never around any of these people. I never see them. They never tell me. They always, I'll hear it probably second or third.
Oh, of course, of course. You always hear it from the
Through
back.
someone
You
else.
never see it from the front.
Yeah. So I just, I just keep it a moving and be like, dang. But I understand this, that the enemy only puts an attack out on people who are a threat to his kingdom. You know what I mean?
Say
So
that
if I
again,
was
man. You gotta say that again.
if the enemy only puts an attack out on people who are a threat to his kingdom. So it's kind of solidifying some things and letting me know that I must be a threat to the enemy's camp, or he wouldn't put up no fight. Why would he try to challenge me? If you ain't if you're no threat to me and what I'm doing, why would I? I mean, wouldn't come after you or say anything. The enemy only does that to people who he knows is a threat. Like when my feet hit the ground in the morning time, he's pissed. You know what I mean? For real.
I feel
Like
that. I feel that.
it's like, oh, this fool, he up, man.
Right, right.
Yeah, because when you actually believe your identity and what you're here for, see the two greatest days of your life. It's the day you were born and the day you find out why.
Hmm.
The day you find out what your why is, your whole life is about to change.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You move with intentionality. You move with purpose. You move in a way that unravels the conflicted life for others, not just yourself, but for others. And you understand you're waking up with an intentionality that you're here to change the world.
And so it seems like you always had this type of mindset too.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I've always been out. Yeah.
you know, you you're alpha. You get what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Yeah, and you already know, me and you talked about off camera before, and I told you this before. Like, man, you have that energy that demands and commands the room.
Yeah.
And you have to have that, especially in environments that we grew up in. You feel, you can't be lagging out here and saying that I'm soft, man. People, they'll eat you alive, man. They'll rip you rip you
Right.
apart and leave you right where
Yeah.
right where you are.
Yeah.
But when you have this alpha that been through that trial and tribulation, has been through all this pain and hurt, to finally be like, you know what? let me control this wolf pack, man. Let me show y'all what I can really. Let me show y'all what y'all capable of doing.
Yeah.
And that's what Fresh Coast Alliance, I feel like, represents as a whole, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because you have so many different people with different outlooks, backgrounds, ethnicity,
Yeah.
and talents to all come to the same room and to sit down side by side with each other and not, you know how it is when you get a bunch of alphas together. It's going to be a fight somewhere.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna show their teeth.
Yeah.
And it's gonna piss somebody off, and it's gonna start a whole nother,
Yep.
snowball effect, and it is not worth it. But in this environment, especially in Muskegon, it's a popularity contest.
Yeah.
You feel? I feel like that's everywhere you go. But in a smaller environment, it feels like it's like high school. But
Yeah.
high school with these big grown men that's acting still the same way and wanting to be, hey, I'm the most known person. I got the most money. I got the most blah blah blah. Well, it doesn't mean nothing because you in the same place, man. You in the same predicament.
Right. Doing the same thing. Yeah.
Right. So why don't you just come to Fresh Coast Alliance?
Yeah.
And we can teach you how to utilize those talents and those gifts, and you could be anywhere and everywhere you want to be.
Yeah.
And so my next question for you is I got to bring up my brother Bubba, man, aka Lil Kitchen Prolific, the poet.
Yeah.
I love him, but when he came home and he got in contact with you, what was like the thing that you first helped him out with? What was the first direction you pointed him to? Because he did what, over 20 something years?
Yeah, 21. Yeah.
21 years, and he's killing it out here, man. You wouldn't, people still don't believe that Bubba was incarcerated.
Right.
You feel? Because how he is.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, he did his time. He paid his debt to society.
Yeah.
But it's like, but when he got with the right people, when he got with Nate, it just blew up into what he is now. What was that?
Well, he came home with the right perspective, the right motivation, the right paradigm, and he wanted to be a part of the solution. He was tired of being a part of contributing to the problem, but now was ready to be a part of the solution. And and he was humble enough to listen. I think one of the biggest challenges is most people, they their our pride can get in the way and we can't listen anymore. Well, when you become a learned individual and you can't listen and you can't receive anything from anyone else, then there's nothing anyone can do with you. And in his case, that wasn't, he was willing to listen, willing to
learn, pretty much.
to learn and just be who, he had a vision of what he wanted to do, and then we were able to aid and assist and help with that. You know what I mean? And he was here for a little while, and then he got some opportunities to speak and do things, and he killed it. You know what I mean? And and just watching him grow, in this thing and how he can handle it has been good. You know what I mean? It's been a slow process because too much at one time can do more harm than good. You know what I mean? You never
You got to pace yourself.
You got to. Yeah. Because a lot of people they have the gifts and talents to take them places that their character can't keep them.
Yeah, that's a gem right there, y'all. Y'all hear it.
You can be in a place where you're crazy gifted, but you don't, you're only going to stay there for so long because you ain't got the character to maintain that position there. So you're constantly coming back to square one. You're constantly coming back and having to learn these things over again because you didn't learn them the first time because you won't humble yourself. So he was able to, slowly coming in and doing things. And so for him, he is crazy gifted. He's a great communicator. And it's just, power always lies in consistency.
Right.
Tell them
Of
all the
course,
time.
you gotta stay with it. You got to.
Power always lies in consistency. So, and there's a number of things that, if they're going to be a speaker, people speak here as one of our emerging voices, emerging leaders. There's certain things that they have to do. You know what I mean, in turn of
Right. Of course.
maintaining their character and things like that. And he's been able to do it. He's done it, and I think he's
Man, shout out to my
yeah
brother Will
yeah
Kitchen. Brother, I
he's
love
been
you,
doing
baby.
yeah.
I love you. But I want to get to the closing, man, because I want the people to know. I want to know what
Yeah.
is in the future for Fresh Coast Alliance, man. What is in the future for Nate?
Um, that's a good question. I've been thinking about that this last
See, I told you I'm gonna hit you with a haymaker at the end, man.
yeah, this last, a couple of things. I know we're developing this intensive outpatient treatment program for recovery because Muskegon doesn't have anything like that. And we like solving problems. We call ourselves sanctified solutionaries. We're here to solve problems. We bring heaven's solutions to earthly problems,
Okay.
And so we want to bring that solution here to Muskegon. Also, I want I feel like we're being led into doing some consulting work here in the future. Consulting with nonprofit, and then giving a bit of my attention in the near future to urban church planting, um, effective urban church planting, right? Not
Right,
just
right.
stuff we've been doing the same old thing for 50 years. It's like, but there's no fruit, in this thing saying, how did you impact the community? How did you contextualize the gospel and really be a benefit and blessing to the neighborhood or to the community? I'd like to help. Not that I got all the answers, but I think we've tapped into something here that it could be beneficial to urban areas. And so want to get into that, in the process of writing my autobiography right now.
Oh, sure. So
Hope
you for the are you so when would this book be ready?
Well, I'm halfway done with it now. Well,
Oh, you
probably
already been working.
yeah,
Okay.
I've been working on it. Yeah. So I'm debating now, to pick up the connect with the publicist now so I can speed the process up. Because
Right,
then
right.
you speak and you record it and then they type it up, but you're paying for it. But I in order to get it done as soon as possible, I'm considering doing that. Um, I already co-authored one book already called "If Two Agree." You can get it on Amazon, and that was with my father. Him and I were on the streets at the same time, so we shared our story in that book, "If Two Agree." And so, writing, doing some urban church planting stuff,
Right, right, right.
helping to get on we're here now. We just stepped on the state stage with a statewide conference in November. Well, November 3rd, there's still November. And so we did Reentry United, and we had people come from all over the state come, and we had a 1-day conference, and the directors, we brought grass tops and grassroots people together. So all the people at the top and all the people here came together. Everyone from the director of the Michigan Department of Corrections to the director of West Michigan West Central Office, the Offender Success Program. We brought all the heavy hitters and then the practitioners, a bunch of formerly incarcerated people, to the table to discuss solutions to the problems here. And it was such a hit that
Right,
we're
right, right.
working on doing a statewide conference and then a bunch of smaller regional conferences throughout the year as we build upon that. And
Okay, okay. So you just keeping that information going for Fresh Coast, keeping people uh connected
yeah,
with the HQ in Muskegon. And so they can just, use the carrot pretty
yeah,
much.
yeah,
Constantly use that carrot.
yeah,
Okay, that
yeah.
makes sense. That makes
Doing
sense.
coaching sessions and stuff like that, But I think there's, I'm always want to challenge myself because I think there's so much on the inside of each of us that we haven't even tapped into everything.
Nah, man. I mean,
So
you have done so much, man. Like just from the beginning of our conversation, man, told us about how you was until how you are now.
yeah,
That was a big jump right there.
yeah,
A lot of people, connect with that.
yeah,
A lot of people wants to hear that because it's almost like it's a taboo to speak about it. You
yeah,
get what I'm saying? Like people are afraid to say that, I did this or I was, in a situation with mom and dad or I was molested, this, that, and the third. And it's like you have to hear from somebody else in order to feel comfortable to tell it about for yourself.
yeah,
Man, I thank you for that. And for real, and you are a beacon. You
yeah,
already well, you already know that, but from my perspective, man, you really are changing, the outlook of ex-cons, people who are coming home who have done 20 plus years or hell, just do 3 to 5.
long
They
time.
they're looked at so horribly in our society because they feel people already got that mindset like, well, since you was incarcerated, that means you are a bad person. Like, no, the system is corrupt too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to hear the story to understand the person. You know what I'm saying? Relate to them.
Yeah,
And I thank you for that, man. I thank you for coming on to the show. I
yeah.
appreciate your time, man. I had a great time, man. I can't wait to actually go to your next open speech, in which will be
Next one will be well, my next one is inside the prison, March or December 6th. I'll be going in and speaking to all the men out here at Brooks Correctional Facility, December 6th.
okay.
So
Okay.
we got that, and then I think February I'll be at the Catholic Diocese speaking at their fundraiser, and then we'll have a bunch of Power of a Choice events going on,
Right.
and then some out of town stuff coming up
Okay.
again
Well,
next year.
man, we gonna stay posted. You already
Yeah,
know we're gonna stay
absolutely.
posted.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining Mr. Unapologetic right here on your #1 podcast, man. We always be unapologetic here. You already know we at Z.G.E Studios, man. Give a shout out to my brother Adam Miles, aka Zoe, in the building. Man, it's been a ride, man. And I've been enjoying every step, still learning, still growing. I don't feel bad when somebody correct me. I want that correction. Like you said, we need that guidance, especially now. But
Yeah.
thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Nate, for your time, man, for all the information that you have. Just to let y'all know, information will be on the bottom of the video in the description. So if you know somebody that needs some help, let them know that Fresh Coast Alliance is right here for them, man. For real.
Yeah.
Regardless of where you at,
Yeah.
give this brother a call ASAP.
Yeah.
For real. Thank you, Nate, man. I enjoyed the time. Be smooth, my brother. Keep doing what you're doing, for real. I
Hey,
appreciate it.
appreciate it. Thanks for having me on too, man. I'd love to come back sometime soon.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have you back. We're gonna have you back. We gotta let you do some more work though.
Let's get it,
You gotta
baby.
get back to work.
No doubt.